Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Margarita and today I'm here to bring you a recent reads video. This is going to be kind of quick and to the point because I have to return these books to the library here shortly, but let's just get into it. These books are going to be talked in order from my least favorite to my most favorite, and I'm just going to jump right in. The first book that I want to talk about is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is one of her newest fae stories. I love Holly Black. I love her fae stories. They are some of my favorite of her stories. They bring me such a sense of nostalgia because I read them in high school, so I really had that sense while reading this book. I really enjoyed the world building. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. Some of the things I've just really grown out of, and let me tell you a little bit about what this is about. This follows our main character Jude, who is a twin to Tamarin. I can't remember her twin's name. She doesn't really matter that much. But basically, Jude and her twin sister and then their older sister was stolen from the human world and brought into fairy by their stepfather. And they are, Jude and her twin sister are humans living in the fae world. And she has to go to school with the fae, with the gentry. And there she meets the youngest prince of the fae lord, and his name is Cardan. And Cardan and Jude hate each other. Cardan is always mean to her and all that stuff, and he has a group of people trying to kill her. It's nonsense. And basically things are not what they seem in this book. You think everything's going fine, a new king is going to be crowned, but things do not go according to plan. Well, not according to some people's plans, they go according to others. And that's basically what the story is about. I love the world building. Like I said, it was really nice to get back into one of her worlds. I did not like the trope of I hate you and I'm mean to you, but it's secretly because I love you and I have feelings for you and I just don't know how to express them. I've grown out of that. I hate that. It's so unhealthy. I hate that we promote that in books, especially for young adults, because I think a lot of young adults read things like this in their books and think that's the way love is. So this guy that's being an asshole to me, he must really like me, and that's so damaging, and it really kind of took away from that. Also, towards the end of the book, the relationship between the twins, I just don't understand how it took that turn, and not the biggest fan of this, of those plot twists and stuff. I enjoyed the story, but it's not my favorite of her books. And again, I think that might be me coming from a different place in life and just having outgrown certain things. The next book that I'm going to talk about is The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. This is Midnight Tales and Dangerous Magic. These are short story collections that go along with her Grishaverse, I believe. And I gave this 3.5 stars. My favorite story was definitely Amya and the Thornwood, and that is the first story in this book. And the thing that I love about this book is it's beautifully, absolutely beautifully published. Because first of all, look at this cover, and then the story starts off like this, and then as you go through, the images start to grow until you get to the very last image at the end of the story, and it shows you what the story's been I don't know if that's in frame, what the story's been talking about, and I just absolutely adored that. Like I said, this is a short story collection, so I'm not going to go into all the different stories, but I definitely enjoyed this. This was a quick read. The first 2 stories I really enjoyed a lot more than the last stories. The one that's Nutcracker reminiscent, I did not like. I thought that was really stupid. I think I gave that 2 out of 5 stars. And then the last story, I was really enjoying it until it started having Little Mermaid parts, and I was like, why can't we just come up with our own, not inspired by other fairy tales, but like our own fairy tales? But that's just me. The next book that I'm going to talk about first is going to be Descenders Volume 1 by Jeff Lemire. I read this on Hoopla, and this is the story of a little companion bot who gets shut off for, I think it's like 10 years or something. And when he wakes up, the world that he knew is completely different. The little boy that he's supposed to be the companion of is missing. He doesn't know where he is. And humans no longer like robots because robots came and invaded. And he is the only robot that has similar programming to the robots that invaded. So everybody wants him. So I enjoyed that. I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. I will probably continue on with the series, and that's all I really have to say about that. The next book that I'm going to talk about is Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel. I just finished this book last night, and I enjoyed it for the most part. This is a sci-fi book, and it follows a group of people after they discover a giant metal hand, and they realize that they're pieces to this robot that were left by aliens. So they go through and they try and find all the different pieces and how it works and stuff like that. And I enjoyed this. It's not the best thing I've ever read, but it is really good. I was under the impression that this was going to be told more along the lines of, let's say, the Illuminae Files or Night Film by Marisha Pessl, where there's going to be story, but there's other formats, and that's not necessarily true. The formats are basically interviews between all these different characters and this one guy who is, he's not running the project, but he's running all the pieces of the project. And it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting like pictures and different types of things, a little bit more diversity in how you were being told the story. Like, I would have loved to have seen what this thing looked like, a picture of what it looked like, or like the head or the different things looked like, but it's just interviews. So it's not quite what I was expecting. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't what I was expecting. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. The ending though, what? I'm gonna have to pick up the rest of the series. I definitely enjoyed it. So there's that. And then all the other books I have to talk about I don't actually have with me, so I'm sorry, you're gonna have to look at my face for a little bit. The next book that I'm going to talk about is Hunger by Roxane Gay. This is This is the memoir of her body. I gave it 4.5 stars. I listened to it on audiobook. I would definitely recommend it because Roxane Gay actually narrates the audiobook, and I really, really enjoyed it. I don't want to say too much, but Roxane Gay is considered super morbidly obese. I think she's considered obese of some sort, and it tells the story of how she let her body get that far and what has happened to her because of that, and it really, really struck a chord with me, and I really loved the story. I'm gonna have to buy a copy of my own. I really enjoyed it, and some of the things that she said and that she talked about really connected with me. I'm a plus size girl. I'm not morbidly obese by any means, but I do have extra weight, and I have seen some of the things that she talks about, and it really connected with me. I really enjoyed it. The next book that I'm going to talk about is Circe by Madeline Miller, and that is my favorite book that I've read recently. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It follows Circe from the Odyssey, and it basically tells you her entire life story, and it is so good. I highly, highly recommend it. I read Song of Achilles earlier this year, excuse me, by Madeline Miller. Absolutely fell in love with it, and I absolutely fell in love with Circe. If you like Greek mythology, if you like just read it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. It is so good. I loved it so much, and you get to understand her as a person and the things that she does, and it's just so good. Read it. That's all I can say. Just read it. So that's it. Those are all the books that I have to talk about today. I'll be coming back to you guys here shortly with probably a currently reading video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!